MPs in Britain have voted in favour of legislation that will allow gay marriage.
Rhode Island is now the 10th state to legalize gay marriage.
Ayes 33, nays 29.
Members, the ayes are 77, the noes are 44.
Marriage was between a man and a woman for security, comfort and support and the procreation of children.
I want a marriage and I want children and I want to be with her for the rest of my life.
I've lost all my family for being gay.
Marriage is only for one man and one woman.
I think the hardest thing was me was telling my parents, so I went away to become a holiday rep, so for 2 years, and then as I came out over there, because people sort of knew, you know, and then I came back and told my mum, and she says, you know, is that it? I think that's the hardest bit is telling your parents, but once you've done that, and once you know, but I was quite lucky because my mum and dad accepted it, you know, my brothers and sisters all, and family and stuff.
I was like so scared, like I was going to faint, like I was that scared. She was just looking at me like, you alright, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I have to tell you something. She was just like, what? I just said, it's about me and her, you know, my girlfriend at the time, and she just goes, I kind of suspected that. Okay, and I just remember, she just muttered, she just went, Jesus, like that, because I'm her youngest child, and everyone else came out, you know, fine, normal, but I'm the youngest, and I was just the baby of the family and stuff, but my mum accepted me. She, like, that sounds awful, she accepted me, but you know what I mean, she was absolutely fine with it, like after the initial shock.
I've lost all my family for being gay, that was my choice. My family are Presbyterians and brethren, and at the end of the day, they're the ones who profess to be born again Christians, and they've disowned me because I'm gay. But the big man upstairs, he hasn't disowned me. He brought him in my life, and I'm thankful for that. Morris and I were chatting together online for 7 years, and at that time I was in a relationship and he was in a relationship, and cut a long story short, it took something to happen for us in our lives for us to get together. 2 years ago I was diagnosed HIV positive, and Morris was one of the first persons I told online on Gaydar. We met up for a drink and chat. It led to where we are today. But when we met, we had just so much in common and stuff, you know what I mean? But I think we're firm believers everything happens at the right time for the right reason, do you know what I mean? So it was sort of the right time for us as well, so. The church nowadays needs to get a grip of itself. It's not in the past, it's the future. They need to work with the times. I mean, you can't even have a song playing that mentions God on it or anything like that.
You know, the Catholic Church and everybody, the whole religious association with it, it's what gets me, because religion and state, you know, they shouldn't be mixed at all. Places like the Catholic Church that are stopping people to, like, two lesbians or two gay men, or, you know, two whatever, or getting married and like spend the rest of their lives together and living in fear.
The way society's moving today is acceptance. I mean, God teaches love. So people say they're Christians, but Christian means Christ-like.
So those ones out there in the DUP, Free Presbyterian Church, they need to start practicing what they preach and act like Christians and how Christ would do it. And love, accept, forgive and move on. Not judging other people. I mean, we can't judge. I mean, they're judging us, so that's why we can't have our equal marriage because of society, because other people are judging us. And I just want the same rights everybody else has. Then it is for what we're gay. We've all made choices in our lives, all of us. And it's how we learn to live with those choices and move on.
The state did not define marriage. All the state has simply done is enshrine the view that always pertained even in ancient societies, long before there were religious views on this, that marriage was between a man and a woman for security, comfort and support and the procreation of children.
Where churches don't want to practice same-sex marriages, I respect their religious right not to do that, but churches shouldn't. I believe, Republicans believe that church and state should be separated, and there should be a separation of church and state. So I don't believe churches should be telling other people what they can or can't do. So, I mean, what I would say to churches is practice your faith in the way that you want to, but you have to respect that the legislators have a job to do and that we shouldn't be legislating on the basis of inequality.
Mark and I both come from a Christian background, and I used to be born again Christian myself, and for us, our civil partnership is just, it's still the union, but we wanted to have what everybody else had, the same rights, the same equal rights, and to be our relationship and our civil partnership made it into a marriage. For me, most people are saying that the equal marriage, it's not a religious thing, but for me it is, because I am still a Christian, and in the eyes of God, God brought us together for a reason, and I believe that our equal marriage, it should be a bond for each other for life, and it's showing not only to ourselves, but it's showing to the world that we mean business, and it's not it's meant to be. It is. We are having our civil partnership November 27th, and it's all come together. So it's fine.
Well, I prefer more a marriage than a civil partnership, because I don't know, I'm not really religious at all, but I think a marriage just seems more, it's more romantic in the sense, because I'm quite romantic, but I myself want to get married someday, so I'm totally for it. Like, you know, I want to be with Niamh for the rest of my life, basically. I love her, and if anyone stops us, like, get a kick in the face. No, they won't really. But no, like, I want a marriage, and I want children, and I want to be with her for the rest of my life, and you know, yeah, no, I'm all for it.
95 members voted, of which 42 voted aye, 44.2%. 37 nationalists voted, of which 37 voted aye, 100%. 53 unionists voted, of which 3 voted aye, 5.7%. 5 others voted, of which 2 voted aye, 40%. 3 members who voted in both lobbies are not included in these results. The motion is negatived.
The motion is negative.
I think it's an utter disgrace, especially in this day and age. And the politicians in this land, they have a say in everything. And it's not politics, it's religion, and these free peers who dictate our lives. The DUP, it's all down to them, like, and they rule the roost.
We believe that the current definition of marriage is one that has served society well down the years, and we don't see any particular reason to change.
2 men or 2 women, you know, could probably give it as much good home as anybody can, you know what I mean? I think that, you know, it should be equal. You know, you shouldn't discriminate just because of your sexual orientation, if you can be a parent or not. I mean, for me and Paul, we've never really thought, we've never really want children. It's not an issue for us.
We've got our dogs and our cats.
Our children, you know,
they're enough.
He's big kids, so.
And he's a big child. He's the biggest child of them all.
just because a minority say that we want to have the right to be married. We demand equality with the rest of the heterosexual community who have the right to marriage. What happens when somebody says, I want to be married, I don't know why they would want to be, but I want to be married to 2 people or 3 people? There's a minority view that believes that, Mr. Speaker.
In the way that the current legislative and constitutional arrangements are set up, it's unlikely that it'll be passed here because we have a system of mutual veto. So in the debate in the chamber, the DUP will almost certainly veto the arrangement. So you either have to get a significant majority, which will take some time, from the unionist sides, or what possibly will happen is that it'll become a legislative requirement through Westminster, and then there'll be a recourse to the law. But of course, I would prefer that we would deal with it here.
We will have equal marriage in the north and south of Ireland, and all they can do is slow it down. I think once Britain and Ireland legislate for it, I think very quickly you'll see things changing here.
It's just 2 people who are in love, and they want to be together for the rest of their lives, just like any other heterosexual couple. I would love to see the day where no one would clash you from your sexuality.